What's up, YouTube? What's up, YouTube? Kamea here, back for another vlog episode. Had a great conversation with my cousin in Texas yesterday. I took a little snippet and I put it on Facebook and Instagram, and he actually taught me a little bit about social media because he talked with his guru and things like that, and so I actually used one of his tips, and sure enough it worked. So here's the tip. Ready? Make a shorter piece of content from your long content and share that as sort of a teaser or whatever to your long form content. So I was posting like full interviews, and maybe people don't have all that time or as interested in watching that long of a video, but some for 10 seconds, absolutely. So did it, and it worked. And here's what I mean by it worked. There was more engagement. I actually had family members that were actually communicating back and forth, had people commenting. This might not come as some any big surprise to you guys, I understand. But as someone who actually has to plan this out, does the video, does the editing, does the recording, does the After Effects, does all of that, it sounds easy to just do that. But I would love for you to try and just see it's a little more difficult than it looks. Anyway, that being said, I'm down for any tips, so if you guys have any, let me know. So we just got out of a meeting with our investment guy. His name's Eric, super cool guy, French-speaking guy. And we had talked with him because we want to put a third of what we have with him. And so I don't know where I read it, and maybe you guys know where this comes from, but you want to put a third, and a third of what you got into a few different things. And the way I always thought about it is this: you want like your low risk stuff, like, you know, GICs, or more like I don't know, mutual funds. Personally, I don't believe in mutual funds and stuff like that. I just feel like you're just throwing your money into this big pool and you don't really get much back for it. The second in the middle is more the moderate risk stuff, and that's more like venture investments, not venture, what am I talking about? Private capital investments, you know, where you're gonna get a little bit of a better return, but it's not gonna be as intense as the high risk stuff, which is where I tend to live, which is building a business or, you know, doing entrepreneurial things. I think that, as high risk as it is, when you invest in yourself, I feel like it pays you back more because there's all these multipliers, right? You get better at it. You learn all of the systems in that business. You obviously build up the financial rewards of having your own business. The taxes that you pay, you can be more creative in how you spend money because you own a business. So yes, it can be a little higher risk to start a business or to do a startup or something like that, but I feel like you'll get more out of it. The last thing before I start getting into my coding for the day is I'm going to be meeting with a company that does secure text messaging. And this was a big issue in our dental field because we have to follow a regulation where all of our interactions with the patients and our referral base is safe. Safe from it being hacked, safe from it being stolen or viewed by people who could potentially use it for nefarious reasons. And so this is a really interesting solution, is that you create a texting platform where the patient's in the center, and then you have all of these providers that connect into that conversation, and all of the text messaging that goes on in there is secure. So that's not just text messaging, that's also email. So this is something called HIPAA compliance, and it's something that has to be done here in Canada. because in the US they have something called the Patriot Act, and so anytime information crosses the border, Donald Trump or whoever the president is at the time and the American government has access to that because they got to look through it and see if there's anything fishy going on. So that's what we're going to be meeting on today. I'm excited to see what they got going on. And I'm excited mostly because they do this for dentists. And so you see this combination of coding and dentistry come together. And that's what I'm up to. And that's me. So anytime you can find businesses or ideas or people that can synergize with your experience, it's always a good meeting to take. The last thing I want to talk about is what I'm going to do for coding today. So really important here to remember that it's the advice I keep hearing over and over again is just to build. And so I have the entire summer. I have coding class tonight. I have that meeting at 4, but you just got to keep building. So that's what I'm going to do for the rest of the summer, for the next month and a half, and then jump into a full-time boot camp again and just get at it. So that's my little update. One question that I had, one thing that I wanted to actually bring up. So as I was talking with Wesley yesterday, I had a thought, and it was this: how much is an introduction worth? So here's what I mean by that. You guys have friends and business associates, and as you get to talking, you start realizing that there's some friends that they might need to know or could be beneficial to what they're doing, and vice versa. So is an introduction, what is that worth to you? Like, how do you view the value of that introduction? Now, me personally, I guess it kind of depends on what it leads to. But here's the problem. So you introduce yourself, or you introduce your friend to your other friend because you think they would have some synergies. Should you get something out of that? That's my question for you guys today. I'm really interested in what you have to say. Put your comments below. How much is an introduction worth? My vlog today, keeping it pretty simple. And I'll update you on IG so you can see what's going on. All right. What's up, guys? If you like what you saw, please subscribe, leave a comment, and share with your friends.